Good evening, this is Gabriel Porras with SCW News. I'm reporting live from the Sherwood Mall this evening, where Stockton police have confirmed that one is dead and one is injured after a shooting. I want to bring in Officer Joe Silva with the Stockton PD for more information on this. Joe, what can you tell us this evening so far?
So this evening at around 8:40, our officers responded out here to Sherwood Mall, specifically out into the food court area, on a report of a shooting. And when officers arrived, they located two gunshot victims. Both were described as being possible teenage males. Unfortunately, one was pronounced here at the mall deceased by medics, and the other victim was transported to an area hospital to be treated for his injuries. Right now, we don't have any information on a suspect or suspects, but we do know that there were multiple people that were out here, because what we just learned is that there was some type of fight that occurred inside the food court that led to the shooting. So we're asking for any help at this point from the public. If you saw something, please say something. And you can do that by calling Crime Stoppers at area code 209-946-0600.
And any word on the injuries of that other teenage victim, or if they're or the ages of those people?
No, right now I just know that both of our victims, they were shot, I don't know how many times. One was pronounced deceased here at the scene, and the other is transported to an area hospital for treatment. And right now I don't have ages on them. I just know that they're being described as possible teenage males.
A lot of people in the area likely, you guys of course asking for people to come forward with information.
Yes, most definitely. We do know that there was some type of fight that occurred inside the food court area, so we know that there were some people inside that saw the fight, and if they saw exactly who the suspect or suspects were, they need to get that information to us immediately, because we do have our homicide team that's responding here for this investigation, and we need to figure out exactly who did this, what events led up to this fight that led up to this homicide, and we can hold those people accountable for their actions, because right now we do unfortunately have a grieving family, and they have a lot of questions that they're asking and will be asking us in the coming days.
Thank you, Officer. A very, of course, busy evening for Stockton Police Department detectives. They are likely going to be out here throughout the night investigating. You can hear right now the Stockton Police helicopter above head circling this area. They also responded to this call earlier. I'm going to go behind the camera now to show you a different view of the scene here. Again, this is at the Sherwood Mall right near Macy's and the food court. Stockton Police now confirming that one teenager is dead and one is injured after the shooting here. And they are also saying that this started as a fight at the patio, the food court here at the mall. You can see that's where a lot of the police activity is centered in this area. They have dozens of officers there sifting through the scene, looking for evidence, looking for clues, and asking witnesses for information, as people were likely in this area at the time. In fact, we saw witnesses earlier who said that this happened at the food court. And again, still waiting for more information. Police asking those with information to call them or Crime Stoppers. Here's a look at the scene. Again, this is a pretty wide area of the Sherwood Mall parking lot that they have blocked off right near Macy's, right near the food court. For those of you who may not be familiar with this mall, right off of Pacific Avenue, a major surface street in Stockton near Yokitz Avenue, and just across the street from another mall. And as I mentioned, the initial response to this was immense. They had officers from across the city scrambling to get to this area initially. They also had the Stockton Police helicopter that came out quickly to the scene. And you can see still a lot of officers still at the scene, piecing together this the shooting that happened here. This happened around 8:40 according to police again. See, there are two layers of police tape, so a very intricate scene that they have set up here. We have seen officers going into and out of the mall, as well as, of course, canvassing through this parking lot, talking to witnesses. Now, there were a lot of, as you can see, some civilian cars still stuck in this parking lot. We saw some people being able to drive off earlier, but now they have the scene blocked off. Some officers even looking in towards the cars as well, as the police helicopter continues to circle in this area while they look for answers in this case. So far, again, if you're just now joining us, police confirming one teenager shot and killed, one teenager shot and injured at a local hospital. At this point, no word on the ages of those teenagers or the extent of the injuries, only that that other teenage male is still in the hospital at this point. They were both teenage males who were shot today. Police saying this started as an argument at the food court, the patio food court here at the Sherwood Mall in Stockton. And we had Officer Joe Silva with us just moments ago. If you want to look back at this video later, you'll hear what he had to say. That argument started around here at the food courts and escalated into what appears to be a shooting. Now, we have talked to some people off camera who say that they were shocked when this broke out. They weren't expecting, of course, this to happen while they were at the mall today. But a very big investigation being opened up by Stockton Police right now. I'm going to keep this scene a little bit static just so you guys can see the developments here. Nothing significant so far since we've arrived at the scene. We were first here just moments after the shooting unfolded, where multiple different units from Stockton Police, Stockton Fire, even ambulances all swarmed to this area, taking many of the parking spots in the parking lot. Since then, a few have left, but still a very strong police presence with dozens of units still here, as well as evidence technicians that have arrived on the scene just about a half an hour ago. And again, a police helicopter is still circling the area. So here's a better perspective of just how wide the scene is. You can see it starts at the Macy's sort of area here in the parking lot of the Sherwood Mall, just off of Yokitz Avenue, and it continues all the way through near where Sky Zone is. You can see a pretty extensive scene. The mall is typically closed at this hour, so no impact to businesses thus far, although the shooting happened at 8:40 p.m., so it's unclear what happened after. Of course, the mall went on lockdown, is what we were hearing from sources at this point. Although, again, to recap, 1 confirmed dead, 1 teenage male confirmed dead, 1 teenage male injured after this shooting. And we'll continue to follow updates here for you as well. As I have continued to mention, you can see a lot of officers are huddling here, looking through evidence, discussing that evidence, trying to get answers in this case, police asking those with information who may have seen this to call Crime Stoppers or the police department. They have closed off the entire mall parking lot, half the mall parking lot, I should say, at the Sherwood Mall, right near the patio food court, right near Macy's. This is off of Yokitz Avenue in Stockton. The shooting happened around 8:40 p.m. this evening and took the life of 1 teenage male and, of course, injured another who is at a hospital right now. We are still awaiting word on the condition of that other person who was injured. Police not releasing the condition so far, only saying that he did suffer gunshot wounds and was taken to the hospital. You can still see a very wide scene. Again, a lot of police presence here. The Stockton Police helicopter circling far above. They were one of the units that actually responded to this call initially here at the Sherwood Mall. You can see them, a little bit hard to see with the focus here. But they were one of the units called to the scene, as well as an arsenal of police officers, ambulances, fire trucks. So a very chaotic scene for a lot of people who were at the mall today to shop or to simply eat food at the food court, who of course had to be interrupted by this shooting and this ongoing police investigation. We did see police talking to witnesses as well as they were exiting the area. Still not sure how this exactly unfolded. Police saying an argument led to this shooting around 8:40 p.m. here at the food court. Police are still blocking off the scene, of course, as they investigate. This is again at the Stockton Sherwood Mall off of Yokitz Avenue near Pacific Avenue. This particular area that they have blocked off and that they are investigating is the Macy's, right near to Macy's, at the patio food court near in the area where Sky Zone is, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Macy's. That sort of clump of parking spots, at least 3 rows of parking spots, have been sealed off by police and authorities at this point as they investigate this case. And as I mentioned, we had Joe Silva with the Stockton Police Department live earlier on our air. You might want to look back at that if you can later to hear what he had to say. If you're just now joining us, though, he confirmed 1 teenage male dead, 1 teenage male injured after the shooting here at the Sherwood Mall. This happened around 8:40 p.m. here. And officers are still, of course, at the scene, busy sifting through evidence, looking through the scene, trying to find answers and trying to get more information on this shooting. And we'll have updates for you here in SCW News as we get them, so be sure to stay tuned here. Reporting live in Stockton, Gabriel Porras, SCW News.